March 15, 2019. Casablanca, Morocco. Sarah Mitchell was 34 years old when she stepped off the plane at Mohammed V International Airport. She'd traveled from Seattle to meet her boyfriend's family for the first time. After 8 months of video calls, messages, and promises, she was finally going to see Ahmed in person. She never imagined she would spend the next 3 weeks locked in a room, her passport seized, while strangers demanded $50,000 from her terrified parents. "I knew something was off from the moment I saw her at baggage claim," recalled Janet Foster, a flight attendant who'd worked Sarah's flight from Paris. She kept checking her phone, smiling. But there was this nervousness, like she was trying to convince herself everything was fine. Sarah had been a nurse at Swedish Medical Center for 11 years. She worked long shifts, went home to her studio apartment in Capitol Hill, and spent most evenings alone. Her last serious relationship had ended 3 years earlier. She'd tried dating apps without much success until she joined an international platform specifically for cross-cultural connections. Ahmed had messaged her first. His profile showed a handsome man in his early 30s with dark eyes and an easy smile. He said he worked in import-export, splitting his time between Casablanca and Dubai. Their conversation started casually, but quickly deepened. He was so attentive, Sarah would later tell investigators. He'd message me good morning every single day. He wanted to know about my work, my family, everything. It felt real. By the second month, they were video calling daily. Ahmed showed her his apartment, his car, and once introduced her to someone he said was his younger brother. He talked about their future together, about how his family would love her, about how Morocco was beautiful and safe, and she should visit soon. Sarah's friends had concerns. Her colleague Emma Rodriguez remembered their lunch conversation in January. "I asked her if she'd ever actually met this guy in person," Emma said. "She got defensive, said I didn't understand because I'd never tried international dating. I told her to be careful, to maybe meet somewhere neutral first. She said his family was traditional, and it meant everything to meet them at their home." Dr. Michael Chen, a forensic psychologist who studies romance fraud, explained the pattern. "These operations are sophisticated. They build emotional connection over months, creating a sense of intimacy and trust. The victim becomes invested not just emotionally, but in the relationship narrative itself. By the time red flags appear, they're explaining them away." Sarah bought her tickets in February. Round trip, Seattle to Casablanca, departing March 14th. Ahmed sent her detailed instructions. His cousin would meet her at the airport. The family was preparing a special welcome dinner. She should pack modestly but comfortably. She should bring cash for shopping in the souks. She withdrew $3,000 from her savings account. Her mother called the night before she left. "Please don't go," Patricia Mitchell said through tears. "Something about this doesn't feel right." "Mom, I'm 34 years old," Sarah replied. "I can take care of myself. Ahmed is wonderful. His family wants to meet me. I'll be careful, I promise." She landed at 2:47 p.m. local time. The airport was crowded, warm, overwhelming. Sarah collected her suitcase and walked toward the arrivals area, scanning the crowd for the cousin Ahmed had described. A young man held a sign with her name spelled slightly wrong. Sarah Mitchell. "Miss Sarah?" He was early 20s, wearing jeans and a polo shirt. "I am Youssef, Ahmed's cousin. Welcome to Morocco." She smiled, relieved. "Thank you. It's so good to finally be here." "Ahmed is very excited. The family's waiting. We have a long drive." The drive took 90 minutes, heading southeast from the airport into increasingly rural areas. Youssef made small talk about Morocco, about football, about the weather. Sarah took photos on her phone, sending them to Ahmed with heart emojis. He responded with promises that he'd be home soon, that he'd been delayed in Dubai but would arrive that evening. The house was located outside a small town she didn't catch the name of. It was large, traditional, surrounded by high walls. A metal gate rolled open as they approached. "Very beautiful," Sarah said. "Ahmed's family lives here?" Yes. "Come inside. They are waiting." An older woman in traditional dress greeted her at the door. She smiled but didn't speak English. Two other women appeared, both younger, also not speaking English. They led Sarah to a sitting room with ornate furniture and offered her mint tea. "Ahmed will be here soon," Youssef said. "Please rest. You must be tired." Sarah sipped the tea and tried to ignore the knot forming in her stomach. By 8 p.m., Ahmed still hadn't arrived. Sarah had tried calling him multiple times. The calls connected, but went straight to voicemail. She texted him repeatedly. No response. "There is a problem with the cell tower," Youssef explained. "Sometimes it happens. He will call when he can." Dinner was served in a large dining room. 3 men Sarah hadn't seen before joined them. The older woman served couscous and tagine. Everyone spoke in Arabic. When Sarah tried to ask questions, Youssef translated slowly, incompletely. She barely ate. "I am tired," she finally said. "May I go to my room?" They showed her to a bedroom on the 2nd floor. It was nicely furnished, but the windows were barred. "For security," Youssef said. "This is Morocco. We protect our guests." Sarah closed the door and immediately tried calling Ahmed again. No answer. She opened WhatsApp. The last time he'd been online was 6:47 p.m. She tried to connect to the Wi-Fi network she'd seen on her phone. It required a password. She went back downstairs to ask Youssef. He was standing in the hallway with 2 of the men from dinner. "The internet is not working tonight," he said. His tone had changed, cooler, less friendly. "Please go back to your room. It is late. I need to call Ahmed. My phone isn't working properly. Tomorrow. Everything tomorrow. Good night, Sarah." She returned to the room. The knot in her stomach had become a boulder. She tried the door handle after closing it. It was locked from the outside. Sarah spent that first night sitting on the bed, door locked, trying not to panic. She told herself there was an explanation: cultural differences, security concerns. Ahmed would arrive in the morning and everything would make sense. He didn't arrive in the morning. Instead, Youssef came to her room at 9 a.m. with bread and tea. He set them on the dresser and stood in the doorway. "Where's Ahmed?" Sarah demanded. "Why was my door locked?" "Ahmed is delayed. Business problems in Dubai. He calls tonight." "I want my phone back. You took it from the nightstand." "Your phone is charging downstairs. We bring it later." "This isn't okay. I want to leave. Take me back to the airport." Youssef's expression hardened. "You are guest here. You cannot leave until Ahmed arrives. It would be disrespectful to the family." "I don't care about disrespectful. I want to go. Now." He stepped closer. "You are not in America now, Sarah. Here, you follow our rules. If you make problems, things become difficult for you. Eat your breakfast. Be quiet. Ahmed calls tonight." He closed the door. She heard the lock click. Sarah didn't eat. She tried the window bars, but they were solid iron set deep into the concrete. She searched the room for anything useful. Nothing. Just furniture, bedding, and her suitcase. She checked her wallet. Her credit cards were still there. Her cash was gone. The day crawled past. No one came except to bring lunch and dinner, both delivered by one of the silent women. Sarah tried speaking to her, but the woman wouldn't make eye contact. She simply set down the food and left. By nightfall, Sarah was furious and frightened in equal measure. When Youssef finally appeared at 10 p.m., she was ready. "I'm leaving tomorrow," she said. "I'm going to call my embassy and they'll come get me." Youssef smiled. It wasn't friendly. "Your embassy? Okay, but first you need your passport, and your passport is safe with us." The fear crystallized into something cold. "Give me my passport. We keep it safe for you. Ahmed will return it when he arrives." "When will he arrive?" "Soon. A few days, maybe." "A few days?" "No. Give me my passport and take me to the airport. I'm calling the police." "The police?" Youssef laughed. "You call police and tell them what? That you came to Morocco to meet your boyfriend? That his family is hosting you? What crime is this?" He pulled a phone from his pocket. Her phone. He held it up so she could see the screen. "Your mother called 6 times today. Your friend Emma called 4 times. They are very worried. Maybe you should call them." He unlocked the phone and handed it to her. Sarah grabbed it, her hands shaking. She dialed her mother's number. Patricia answered on the first ring. "Sarah." "Oh my God. Where have you been? Why haven't you answered?" "Mom, listen to me carefully. I'm in trouble. Youssef snatched the phone back. "That's enough." He ended the call. "What are you doing?" Sarah screamed. "Let me talk to her." "You talk to her when you understand the situation." His voice was calm, measured. "You are here because you chose to come. You wanted to meet Ahmed, yes? Well, Ahmed is expensive. His time is expensive. Your visit is expensive. The family needs compensation." "Compensation? For what?" "For Ahmed's time. For the family's hospitality. For the trouble of arranging your visit." He paused. $50,000. The room tilted. 50,000? You're insane. I don't have that kind of money. "But your family does. Your father is a dentist. Your mother teaches at university. They have money. They will pay to bring you home safely. This is kidnapping. This is business. You call your parents. You explain that you need money. They send it. You go home. Everyone is happy. And if I refuse?" Youssef's smile disappeared. "Then you stay here. Long time. And things become uncomfortable for you. Maybe you get hurt. Maybe we sell your passport to someone else. Maybe you never go home." He leaned closer. "Choose wisely, Sarah." He left, taking her phone with him. Sarah didn't sleep that night. She paced the small room, trying to think clearly through the panic. This couldn't be happening. She was a smart woman, a nurse. She'd been careful. But every decision she replayed in her mind led back to the same conclusion. She'd walked into a trap. "These criminal networks are highly organized," explained Inspector Hassan Zaruk, who investigated transnational fraud cases for Interpol. They identify vulnerable women on dating sites and build elaborate scenarios. Sometimes the romance scammer is just one person. Sometimes it's a whole operation with multiple players. The next morning, they brought her to a different room, a sitting room with a computer and a phone. Youssef was there with an older man who spoke better English. "I am Ahmed's uncle," the older man said. "You can call your parents now. You tell them you need $50,000. You tell them it is emergency. You tell them to send it Western Union." "I won't do it." The uncle's face remained expressionless. "Then you stay locked in room. No food, no water. We wait." They waited 3 hours. The thirst became unbearable before the hunger did. When they finally brought her back to the sitting room, Sarah was dizzy and compliant. She called her mother. Sarah, the embassy has been trying to locate you. We filed a missing person report. Where are you? Mom, I need help. The tears came then, hot and shameful. I need money. $50,000. What? Why? Sarah, what's happening? I can't explain. Please, just send the money. Western Union. They'll tell you where. Who will tell me? Sarah, are you being held against your will? The FBI said. Youssef took the phone. He spoke to Patricia Mitchell in broken but clear English. Your daughter is safe. She needs money. You send it, she comes home. No police. You involve police, you never see her again. Understand? He hung up before Patricia could respond. Good, Youssef said. Now we wait for the money. Sarah was returned to her room. The lock clicked. She sat on the floor and tried to breathe through the panic. What Sarah didn't know was that her mother had immediately called back the FBI agent assigned to her case. What she didn't know was that the Seattle field office was already coordinating with Interpol and Moroccan authorities. What she didn't know was that her desperate phone call had given investigators the evidence they needed to move forward. The next 5 days blurred together. Sarah was allowed out of her room twice daily for meals. She was given water but little food. She wasn't allowed to shower. Her captors wanted her broken, compliant, desperate enough that her family would do anything to secure her release. They let her call her mother twice more. Patricia Mitchell stalled, claiming the money was being assembled, that wire transfers took time, that she was working with the bank. Each call bought investigators more hours to locate Sarah. We knew generally where she was from cell tower data, explained FBI Special Agent Lisa Torres, who worked the case. But Morocco is a big country. We needed the family to keep them talking, keep them engaged, while Moroccan police narrowed down the location. On the 6th day, Sarah was allowed to video call her parents. They looked devastated. Her father, normally stoic, had tears running down his face. We have the money, her mother said, but we need proof she's safe. We need to see her. Youssef held the phone so they could see Sarah. She looked thin, unwashed, exhausted. I'm okay, she said. Just send the money, please. Tomorrow, Patricia said. We'll have it sent tomorrow morning. The call ended. Youssef seemed satisfied. What he didn't see was Patricia's hand, off camera, giving a thumbs-up signal to the agent standing in her living room. The raid happened at dawn. Moroccan police, with support from Interpol, surrounded the house. The occupants had no warning. The gate was breached. Officers flooded in. Sarah heard shouting, doors slamming, heavy footsteps on the stairs. Then her door burst open. A police officer stood there, weapon drawn, speaking rapid Arabic. Behind him, a woman in plain clothes. Sarah Mitchell, I'm Detective Amira Benis. You're safe now. Come with me. Sarah couldn't move. Her legs wouldn't work. The detective helped her stand and led her down the stairs. The house was full of police. Youssef was on his knees, hands cuffed behind his back. 3 other men were similarly restrained. The women were being questioned separately. Is Ahmed real? Sarah asked. Was any of it real? Detective Benis shook her head. The man you spoke to in your video calls was likely an actor. We're still investigating the full network. Sarah was taken to a hospital in Casablanca. She was dehydrated, malnourished, traumatized but physically unharmed. Her passport was recovered from a safe in the house. The $3,000 she'd brought was gone, likely divided among her captors. The investigation revealed a sophisticated operation. Ahmed was a composite identity managed by multiple people. The photos were stolen from a Moroccan model's Instagram account. The video calls used a man who spoke English well and knew how to manipulate lonely women. The family home was a rented property used specifically for these schemes. Authorities identified at least 4 other women who'd been targeted by the same network, though Sarah was the only one who'd actually traveled to Morocco. 7 people were arrested in connection with Sarah's kidnapping. Youssef Mansouri, the cousin, received 8 years in prison. The uncle, Khalid Mansouri, received 12 years as the operation's leader. The others received sentences ranging from 5 to 10 years. Sarah returned to Seattle on March 27, 2019. Her parents met her at the airport. She'd been gone 12 days. She couldn't stop apologizing, Patricia Mitchell recalled. Apologizing to us, to her friends, to everyone. She felt so foolish, so ashamed. We kept telling her she was the victim. None of this was her fault. Sarah took a medical leave from Swedish Medical Center. She attended therapy twice weekly for PTSD. She deleted all her social media accounts and changed her phone number. 6 months after her rescue, she agreed to speak with FBI agents about her experience, helping them develop training materials for recognizing and preventing romance fraud. These criminals are professionals at manipulation, said FBI Special Agent Torres. They study psychology. They know exactly which emotional buttons to push. Victims are usually intelligent, successful people who simply had the bad luck of being targeted when they were vulnerable. Dr. Chen added context. The shame victims feel often prevents them from reporting. They think they should have known better. But these operations are designed specifically to bypass our normal skepticism. They build trust slowly, create emotional investment, and normalize increasingly concerning behavior. Today, Sarah is back at work. She's cautious about her privacy and reluctant to discuss the details of her ordeal publicly. But she agreed to let her story be shared to help others recognize the warning signs. If someone you've never met in person is pushing you to visit their home country, she said, please reconsider. Meet in neutral territory first. Tell people where you're going. Listen when your friends and family express concerns. Trust your gut when something feels wrong. The romance fraud industry generates an estimated $1.3 billion annually in the United States alone. The Federal Trade Commission reports that Americans lost more money to romance scams in recent years than to any other fraud reported to the agency. Most victims never recover their money. Most never see their scammers prosecuted. Sarah was lucky. The right people took her seriously. The right resources were deployed quickly enough. She came home. Many others don't.